Hello, my name is Aaron Adelsman. I've been living in South Korea for 15 years, and in today's video short, I'm going to be talking some about the Korean government's changing English education policy and how it trickles down to affect virtually everyone in this society, definitely including me. So I should begin by introducing the one, the only South Korea's infamous Suneung test. Not actually explained by a Korean, but all right. So the game changer, the life maker, the life breaker, hopefully not the life taker, the Suneung. It is South Korea's college scholastic aptitude test, and it is positively massive in the lives and culture here. So this is from the BBC, an article. The Suneung is an 8-hour marathon of back-to-back exams, which not only dictates whether the students will go to university, but can affect their job prospects, income, where they live, and even future relationships. Yes, I'm serious. So on the test day, silence descends across the capital, Seoul, actually all of Korea. Silence descends across all of Korea as shops are shut, banks close, even the stock market opens late. Most construction work halts, planes are grounded, and military training ceases. That's from the BBC. So basically, young South Korean students' lives lead up to this one big test at the end of high school. There's not quite anything comparable in Western cultures, at least as far as I'm aware. It's so big. So why is the test so important? Well, I think its roots are in the country's history. Asian countries, perhaps beginning with Chinese culture, I believe, have a strong belief in and history of testing. Because of the intense competition and focus on education, the hagwon industry has taken root. And this is a picture of a hagwon. It's where I started working. Hagwons are basically after school academies that litter the country. So many kids go to them, just one hagwon after another, studying different subjects all day into the evening and sometimes even until nighttime. So they are everywhere. It's huge. So the kids study all day long and the parents put the pressure. It's a cultural phenomenon, really, this intense belief in education. It's what lifted Korea out of poverty. So you can kind of understand their adherence to it. So the parent is putting pressure on the teacher, who's putting pressure on the foreign teacher. Ultimately, it's the students who feel all this pressure to perform and study so earnestly. It's crazy. So the goal, why are students doing this? The goal is to get a high enough Suneung score. This will determine what university a student can go to, which determines what is possible for a student to study at university or not, which will then ultimately define the vocational opportunities of a person's life. So serious stuff here. We're not joking around. This is your life. Study hard. So therefore, the goal of almost every Korean student taking the Suneung is the SKY, which is an abbreviation for Seoul, Korea, and Yonsei universities. The SKY, aim for the sky. How clever, huh? How cute. All right, so let's look at the actual parts of the Suneung test. And here is the English component. We can see it's in and of itself, it's long, it's 70 minutes, just the English part. So this test, the grammar, the questions are absolutely insane. We don't have time to look at it now, but trust me, insanity. All right, so let's take a look at some recent political history in South Korea. Here are the last 6 presidents. And South Korean presidents' English education policy leading up to 2013 was very supportive of English education. However, beginning in 2013, that all changed. In 2014, Park Geun-hye referred to English education as excessive. Before the end of her term, she was, however, impeached due to a huge political scandal. But during her time, her administration made massive changes to English education. So let's take a quick look at these 2 presidents, the beginning of the big change since I've been here. So President Lee Myung-bak, he was the president just after I came to Korea. He got elected a couple of years after I came to Korea. And his policy was pro-English. So despite their many years of public and private education, Koreans have always had difficulty speaking and writing English. Lee Myung-bak wanted to change Koreans' English ability in a practical way. So his government developed the NEET test, which is an internet-based test. The government was actually planning to use NEET to replace the Suneung. Ooh, how scandalous, President Lee Myung-bak. This test was given a little test run. They partially used the NEET in the 2014 National Suneung test. Some students were able to use this test result for their entrance university entrance. However, 2014 was the year of the presidential turnover. Enter Park Geun-hye. And here, Moon Jae-in basically had the same English education policy stance as his predecessor, Park Geun-hye. He was de-emphasizing English education. So big changes were made to the Suneung. For example, the 2018 test. Only the English component used an absolute evaluation instead of the more strict comparative one, thus making it far less competitive and ultimately less important. So what does it all mean for the country of Korea, the people involved, these policy changes? I think personally they are related to geopolitical changes on the horizon, but not going that far. Who are the winners and losers? I would say the winners, it's hard to parse that out right now. Certainly by de-emphasizing English, parents, and especially non-wealthy parents, are hopefully given a more competitive advantage, non-wealthy families. And hopefully kids are not as stressed out about their parents pressuring them to study English, which many of them wind up not using anyway. In terms of who does it affect the worst, people like me, people who have their jobs in the English education industry, and it's a big industry. So, I don't know. It's tough for me personally, a little tough to see these changes happening. However, that's life. I'd like to take a moment to thank my sponsors. My sources. Especially the one big important source in my life, the last one, number 7, the wife. She gave me a lot of help with this. So thanks, wifey. Thanks, everyone.